Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be. My name is Martin Ring, Strategic Director of Wolves Summit. And on behalf of the Wolves Summit team, it gives me a great pleasure to welcome you all here. One of the key lessons that we're learning in these pandemic times is the need to be flexible and adaptable. And due to COVID circumstances beyond our control, at the very last minute, we had to change location and venue. And we're very lucky to be coming here live from the Concordia Design Center, located here in Wrocław, in the heart of Poland. And we're extremely grateful to Eva Couch and her team for their swift reaction and the great support they've given us changing to this wonderful venue at the last minute. Wolves Summit. Wolves Summit is the meeting place in Central Eastern Europe for startups and scale-ups, for investors and corporations, where innovation meets business and capital. And we have a great lineup over the next 3 days lined up for you. On behalf of the Wolves Summit team, I wish each and every one of you a very successful, positive, and interesting experience. And who knows, perhaps we will find a few unicorns as well. This morning, we have some very distinguished speakers lined up, and it gives me a great pleasure to introduce and to welcome our first speaker this morning, Ms. Anna Clunes, OBE, Her Majesty's Ambassador to Poland.
I'm delighted to open the 13th Wolves Summit, one of the largest tech events dedicated to startups and investors in Central and Eastern Europe, and I hope one of the most useful. I want to say two things to help set the scene for the next 2 days. My first point is that the British government is very excited about the tech sector in Poland and Central and Eastern Europe. Why? Because the startup environment in this region is in a gold rush phase. It offers many opportunities for funding, investing and collaborating. The region is attractive for entrepreneurs and investors because of its comparatively low costs, the level of government support, access to talent and digital infrastructure. What we see in Poland is an emerging digital champion in Central Europe, with more than 4,000 startups, a booming gaming sector, growing fintech sector and plenty of young talent with heads full of ideas. Poland has the fourth largest number of ICT companies in Europe, with 62,000. Hungarian startups are increasingly successful in securing investment. In fact, the whole region is equally exciting. In the last 5 years, about 10,000 emerging Eastern European businesses raised their first rounds of funding, and the region has produced more than 10 unicorns with a total valuation of 30 billion euros. The pandemic context is really challenging for everyone, and this sector is no exception. But despite the difficulties, many startups managed to secure investment this year. Among those who were successful were companies in the fields of artificial intelligence and related fields like analytics and big data. I'm told there has also been a rapid increase in interest in telemedicine, remote personal care, medical equipment, home delivery, food processing, remote work, online education and smart cities. And the UK wants to be part of this journey. Which brings me to my second point. The UK is the best place in Europe to scale up your business. One reason for that is access to finance. UK tech has been really successful in attracting global finance, including from the United States and Asia. Since 2013, UK tech companies have attracted twice as much finance as companies in Germany and 6 times as much as those in France. Here is one successful example from 2020. The business is called Hopin, a startup providing online event software. It's actually the platform powering this event. The company set the record for Europe's fastest company ever to hit $1 billion valuation, which it did in 17 months from its foundation. Now, Hopin has become the fastest growing European startup ever and is valued at over $5 billion. It's a great example of growth in this difficult time. The pandemic is challenging for us all, but the UK tech sector has demonstrated its resilience through continued job creation and investment deals. It's fantastic to see the UK's companies flourishing despite all the challenges of 2020. And the UK's agreement with the EU provides a stable basis for cooperation and business in the future. For those of you who are looking at the UK, I'd like to encourage you to look beyond London. Last year, for example, Manchester cemented its reputation as the fastest growing tech city in Europe, in part due to the successful IPO of e-commerce giant The Hut Group. Other UK cities are also successfully growing tech businesses. So please join our dedicated British stage that starts later today to learn more about opportunities in the UK and connect with relevant stakeholders. Experts from the Department for International Trade and other UK speakers such as Tim Luft and Rob Ward will be sharing their insights throughout this event, so please look out for this. And to conclude, the UK is excited about the tech sector in Central and Eastern Europe, and I hope you are excited about the opportunities in the UK to grow your business. The tech sector will be at the heart of our priorities here in Poland and across Central and Eastern Europe. We want our relationship to continue to thrive in tech and innovation, as we do across our political, cultural, people-to-people links and business engagement. I encourage you to use the next 2 days to share experiences, to network, to make new contacts and find potential new business partners and clients. I wish you all a very successful Wolf Summit.
Thank you, Anna. It gives me great pleasure now to introduce and welcome our next speaker, who's Karolina Zdrojowska, and she is the Director of Entrepreneurship and Social Dialogue at the City of Warsaw.
Dear ladies and gentlemen, I'm pleased to welcome you to the next 13th edition of Wolf Summit, which is one of the largest international conferences in Central and Eastern Europe. We are glad to be a partner of such a significant event for the startup environment, which has become a permanent fixture in the calendar of Warsaw business events. Warsaw is a city open to everyone. We want to attract talents and support those already operating in the capital, because the future of the city and our economy depends on your innovation. We want to operate in business-friendly conditions, generate innovation, develop creative potential, and inspire the world. A year ago, we met for the first time online with the hope that we will meet at the Palace of Culture and Science in Warsaw this year in person. Who could have thought that this year's edition would be the third one to be carried out in a virtual space? Therefore, I would like to convey my heartfelt congratulations to the organizers for the arrangement of the event despite the difficult conditions, and also thank you for creating a space for startups, entrepreneurs, and investors, a space which is so important in the process of business development. The pandemic situation in which we found ourselves forced the reconstruction of social and economic priorities, and ensuring epidemic safety dominated the activity of the public sector and many business sectors. The radical change of habits made innovations even more important by opening new opportunities for many companies. During the economic crisis caused by the coronavirus, adapting to the new situation, determination and creativity in action, quick implementation of unconventional ideas, and above all, the offer of digital products, turned out to be a recipe for success. All of these make up the DNA of startups, and what we should undoubtedly learn from startups is to strengthen our ability to adapt to change. There are 2 days of conference ahead of us, discussion panels and speeches, among which you can find many interesting threads concerning, among others, generating innovation, supporting the startup ecosystem, as well as trends and directions of market development. It is a huge amount of knowledge and experience, which I hope will inspire you to further action and development, and will result in establishing valuable business relationships. We are pleased to find among the speakers also those co-creating our Warsaw ecosystem of innovation. Ladies and gentlemen, I wish you a fruitful conference, and I encourage you to participate in as many meetings as possible.
Thank you, Karolina. So that rounds up the opening ceremony here on the main stage, and thank you for joining us. In about 10 minutes' time or so, at 10:40 CET, on the British Embassy stage, James Hughes, who's the Minister Councillor for Economic Affairs in the British Embassy in Warsaw, will be giving an opening speech. So I will now hand you back to Mission Control. All the best. Thank you.